recently got an eviction notice, or do you know someone who recently got an eviction notice, or do you know someone, or is it possibly you? Did you get an eviction notice recently? Or do you know somebody who is will soon be on their way out of where they live? Well, in America, there have been 3.6 million eviction notices that were filed in America for 2024. A record, I mean, an astounding number. And 1.5 million people were evicted and wherever they lived in 2024. And I stopped by here today to tell you how to get out of evictions. Now, I'm not going to tell you what you're probably thinking I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you some way to squeeze your way out of things that you have gotten into. I'm going to tell you how to get out of things before you get into them. I'm going to teach you today the brilliance of evicting things from out of your brain before you end up getting evicted from out of good situations. All right? You hear what I'm saying? All right. So let me help you, because there are signs of trouble coming, and we see these signs. And let me just give you some reasons why these evictions took place, and I'm gonna teach you some how to become eviction proof. I'm gonna teach you how to get on the offense so that you won't be on the defense, so that people can just come in and throw you out of places. I'm gonna teach you how to not only get evicted from where you live, but how to not get evicted from your status that you have, and how that you can how you can live at an even higher status than you currently live at, where you are the head and not the tail, the lender not the borrower, above and not beneath. All right, so let me just give you some of the stats first. All right, 3.6 million evictions in 2024. 1.5 million people were actually evicted. The highest place is Houston, Texas. And here are three reasons for eviction, for all these amazing amount of evictions that took place: rising rent, insufficient affordable housing, and expiration of pandemic era protections. All right. So let's talk about the first one: rising rents. So rising rents is the reason that so many people got evicted. And I mean, 1.5 million people got literally thrown out of wherever they lived, thrown out of their apartments or out the houses they were renting for 2024. You say, so that's, that's an atrocious number. I agree with you. Okay, so you say, what happened, Brother Ricky? Well, the price of places are rising around the country as we speak. Which you used to be able to rent a place for 600, now you got to rent the same place for 1,200, same place for 1,500, and it's not going to get better. The prices are going to go higher. The prices are not going down. All right, so that means if you want to avoid being evicted in the future, and if you want to be proactive, that means that you have to understand that inflation is a hidden tax. The cost of everything goes up. It's just reflected in the housing market, and more so because you have to live somewhere. So you can ignore the hidden tax of inflation on things that ain't got nothing to do with you. But when it comes down to you having to have somewhere to live, then you just have to face the fact that your place, wherever you live at right now, it's going to cost more next year. And in 5 years, it's going to cost exponentially more. So if you don't want to get evicted, that means you need to what? Make more money. All right. So everybody put MMM in the chat. I'm going to teach you how to fight off, so to make sure that you don't end up on the streets. I want to teach you and teach you some common sense. And I want to stir up your spirit so that you'll come into the real world. All of you all who are on the edge of being thrown out of wherever you live, and seeing people on the edge of being thrown out of where they live. I came back here this morning to let you know you need to join the 3M club. You need to make more money. Why? Because the rent is not going down. All right. I'm going to teach you today a few ways of how to become eviction proof. And if I was you, I would start doing the evicting before I get evicted. You mean, what do you mean by that? I would start evicting some things. The first thing I would evict is the idea that I'm going to be able to maintain a decent lifestyle in this era that we live in by earning an hourly wage. I would evict hourly wages. All right. So the first eviction I would do is evict hourly HW. So I would put it in the chat so that you can get used to that and teach your children this. Listen, we're going to evict hourly wages around here. Why? Because we cannot keep up with the price of living. Literally, where we're going to be living at, because inflation is a hidden tax. And the reason that people are getting thrown out of wherever they live at is because they still doing the same country bunking nonsense they was doing 5 and 10 years ago, acting like this ain't real life. I'm like, this is real life, brother. This is real life, sister. You're not going to survive doing what? On no hourly wage. You're not going to survive. You're going to end up getting thrown out your house. Are you hearing me? You're going to get it thrown out where you renting at. You're going to have a, so I would evict what? Hourly wages. What? HW. Evict hourly wages. I would throw, I mean, you know, now you might have to work right now about an hour because you don't know nothing else to do. That might be a situation. But I would be working feverishly every day to figure out, what am I going to sell? What am I going to market? And what am I going to put out to the marketplace so I can be getting paid by the minute or the second, not by the hour? Brother Ricky, I get paid by the minute, sometimes by the second, and I get paid in volumes. Why? Because, listen to me, most of the time I'm not even at home. Okay? I can afford to pay $100,000 in rent just traveling around the country all the time because I make $100,000 an hour. So I can pay my rent bill for the whole year in an hour. I can't get evicted. I can stay in a hotel for the whole year if I wanted to. Why? Because I'm not working no hourly wage. Are y'all hear what I'm talking about? Are you listening to me? So the first thing I would evict is these hourly wages. The second thing I would evict is individuality, i.e., I'm teaching y'all how to not get evicted. Okay, so I would evict individuality. Okay, so evict I said EI. That's the next. That's the next formula for you to put into the chat. EI. All right, I'm teaching you how to become eviction proof because y'all know people right now. They calling you, talking about, can I come stay at your place? And some of y'all right now, you wondering where you're gonna be living at. All right, some of y'all, yeah. But you see, I'm going to teach you how to be proactive so that this stuff won't happen. I'm going to teach you how to keep putting to take the band-aid from off the problem and to actually do something about your life to become proactive so that you're not in a place where, because this individual attitude, if you have that attitude, I'm telling you right now, you're going to end up on the street somewhere. This individual attitude. This is what happens. This is why they evict so many Black women. We ain't never been in a time in the history of time where we had so many single Black women. And single Black women are the ones getting evicted more than anybody. You say, why is that? Because they live by themselves. Why? Quite often, because they won't let no dude come in and partner with them. I'm telling you, this stuff happened in the Black community. This stuff happened in 1969, 1971, when they rolled out COINTELPRO. It was a idea of, let's break these Black families up. I don't like it. We got men and women in the house. We don't like that. Ever since Black folks got here from America, the idea was break that family up. Do not have no family structure. That was the immediate idea. It was an economic ploy. Are you listening to me? Because they could have kept slaves together as a family if they wanted to. They was like, no, they can't get the idea, the mental idea of living together. One day they have some economic power. So let's make sure that we send Johnny down the street to another plantation and make sure that the sister is here getting this independent idea of raising a family by herself. She ain't supposed to be having no dude as her head of her career. Don't make her think that's okay. So that stuff been going on since slavery. And now here we are, we get to 1971, and this foolishness, we done went backwards over the last 50 years. Are you hearing me? We wasn't getting evicted 50 years ago. Why? Because it was two people in the house. Two people was doing what? Working together. But now you got sisters who want to be independent, and they working and they at the crib by themselves, trying to pay all these bills by themselves. Then a brother come along, I'm talking about a good brother, come along and say, okay, well, let's do this together. She said, okay, under my rules. And he's like, I'm not living up under your rules. Why? Because I'm a man. I don't think like you. All right? I'm not going to come. I'm the head of this crib. You ain't the head of this crib. You ain't the head of this crib. You ain't the head of this crib. And then what ended up happening? She ended up out on the street somewhere. Why? Because her hard-headed behind would let no man come in and be the man of her house. She don't like that. We live in a butch age. We live in a Jezebel age. Okay? We live in a demonic age. We live in an age full of spirits that are crazy as hell. Are you listening to me? And this stuff got us economically jacked up. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? All this individual, this is some foolishness. Are you hearing me? And then it don't make no sense because you tell a brother, you can't tell me what to do, and then you move a chick in your crib, and now you got witchcraft going on. So now you got witchcraft going on and economic stupidity. So you got two things happening. All right. So then you got a sister who want to do right, and she got. I'm talking about this is who's getting evicted mostly. It's mostly our sisters, because it's mostly our sisters living in the crib, living in the joint by themselves. They get evicted. So, so the sister's at the crib, and she got good sense. She a godly chick. She got it going on. She would welcome a man who has some sense to come around and even allow him to be the lead. But then this some stumbling bum Mark show up and come to her crib and don't even want to contribute. He want to be raised by a woman like he have a guy like he got a second mama, especially these young boys. Are you hearing me? Some of these young boys at right now are at the crib of a black woman playing Nintendo at what time is it? At 10:49 in the morning with their pants sagging while she paying all the bills up in that joint. And this trick ain't even working. Are you hearing me? Make me want to take my belt off, go around America, and just start waking up all these young hoodlums. Make me want to take my belt off, and go around America, and just give my Uncle Ricky whooping and say, if you don't get your lazy butt up, boy, you got this sister at her crib working, and you're lazy behind over here playing games, and you ain't even getting it ain't nothing you making no money off of. You're a gamer, that's one thing, you're making some money. But y'all playing games, partner. This woman gonna end up getting put out of her joint. Are you hearing me? Her joint. It ain't your joint, it's her joint. You moved over where she at. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? You a burden. You ain't no blessing. Are you digging what I'm talking about? I just feel like taking my belt off. I feel like taking it. Y'all feel like taking y'all belt off too, don't you? Don't it make you get your behind about this bit? You hear me? I was talking to I came all the way to Chicago yesterday from Florida, from 80 degrees down here to check on my grandson, Joey. Joey's 11 years old. So he was in this Scrooge play. So I came over here to check on him, because he's more important than the 80-degree weather. My daughter Shantice is more important than 80-degree weather. They're more important. So I jumped on a jet, jumped on a plane, and came on over. So when I got here last night, she uh uh the Joey had fell and hit his head, and he had a bump on his head because he had fell in the back while he was practicing for the play. So Joey is he's distraught by the time I get there, and he's outside. He ain't real hurt. He got a little bump on his head. But because I'm not around him as much as I should be, and Shantice is another woman who's raising a boy by herself, I got to come as often as possible so he can get Shantice's influence and get my influence, because his influence by itself, by Shantice, it ain't enough. And she's a good woman. My daughter's a good woman. She's a good girl, real good girl, real polite, she let me come in and help. She don't try to fight it and all that sort of thing. You dig? She appreciates it. So he's sitting there and he want to be cuddled up. I say, you all right, man? I say, you all right? Okay. I say, you got a little bump on your head? I say, you see this right here? He said, yeah, you told me about that, Grandpa, because he wants some sympathy, right? He want me to cuddle him up. I'm like, I'm not like your mother. All right. I'm not like her. I don't think like she thinks. All right. I say, your head is okay, son. All right. And I say, when I start telling you a story, don't you cut in and tell me I told you the story before, because you get smart on the slide, but you want some sympathy. All right. But you ain't going to get no sympathy from me. You think what I'm talking about? You all right. You okay. Your head is okay. All right. Now, if you don't want your behind to be hurt, watch your mouth. All right. Because you're going to have a headache and a behind ache. So what Joey do? He straightened up. And Shantice, to her credit, she said, what you say to your grandfather? He said, I apologize. Why? Because she's a good woman. She let a man come around and help her. You dig what I'm saying? She'll never be evicted. My daughter ain't even been able to walk all year long, but she got a rich father. So she'll never get evicted from where she stay. Why? Because I can pay her rent for the whole next 5 years until she able to work. I told her, don't you do nothing except get healthy. Why? Because that's what men do. We come in and what? We don't come in trying to take over, giving you a whole bunch of rules. We come in and protect you and make sure that we do our part so that your money is extra money. That's how a family is run. That's how you avoid evictions, because the dude make enough money so the woman ain't even got to work unless she want to. That's how this thing go. Now I know y'all don't believe that because you're so used to seeing this nonsense that we see today. And like somebody just asked me, is he gonna give us some tips on how to on eviction? Yeah, I'm giving you tips right now. I'm telling you, if you was listening to me, you hear exactly what I was saying. All right, I'm giving you tips right now on how to be rich. How the hell you gonna get evicted if you're rich? Okay, you're not going to get. What you need to do is start evicting some of these demons. Okay, some of these spirits that led to the eviction of somebody getting thrown out their house. Are you hear what I'm talking about? It's a lot of trifling behavior that takes place before people get evicted. One thing, people hard headed. They individuals. They don't like nobody telling them what to do. They don't like nobody coming in and partnering with them. They got this independent spirit. And then when the stuff hit the fan, now you can't pay the bills. Are you hear what I'm talking about? So the first thing I would evict is I would evict an hourly wage, because y'all work at hourly. Some of y'all country as hell. Y'all ain't listening. I told you I got a class on virality. I got a course that I took. I paid $30,000 for the course. It taught me how to make reels that millions of people watch. Y'all on this phone all day long, scrolling on this phone, and somebody about to throw you out your house. I'm telling you that if that don't put the T in trifling, I don't know what does. You on the phone all day, scrolling on social media, looking at this and looking at that, and you ain't got no money. All right, so I got a class. Okay, the class ain't nothing but $297. You're talking about I ain't even got $297, Ricky. I'm like, I know you ain't, because you're on the phone all day. All right. I'm teaching you to stop doing this hourly wage stuff. Okay? Because you ain't gonna make no money like that. Somebody being threw you out your crib. Are you hear what I'm talking about? And y'all grown men and women, snap out of it. I command you in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth to snap out of this stuff. Are you listening to me? Evict the spirit, what? Of pride. Evict the spirit, what? Of narcissism. Evict the spirit of ignorance and simplicity. You are not in that area anymore. You cannot live like that and live this life. So we in a different era. We're in the internet era. We're in the global market era, and you working by the hour. It makes no sense. Are you hearing me? And can't pay no bills, and they about to throw you out your crib. It makes no sense. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So I got a class. I just taught it to my friend Chan, the millionaire barber. He came to my class. I said, Chan, I got a 3-hour class. I'm gonna teach you in 3 hours what it took me 10 weeks to learn on how to make videos that people watch clear across the world. And once people start watching your videos, just like you watching me right now, you can sell anything. You can sell anything, anything good. Are you hearing me? Why? Because people don't buy the stuff from you merely because they like it. People buy the stuff from you because you are present and they recognize you. That's why you buy Hanes draws, because you recognize Michael Jordan. Nobody, ain't no man really interested in Michael Jordan wearing no draws, but we can relate to the fact that he got some, so we buy them. You buy general insurance because Shaq said something about it. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Anything, every time you see a familiar face, your brain kicks in. You say, what the heck? That's the first, you buy State Farm insurance. Why? Because of Jake from State Farm. You buy Geico insurance because even a caveman can do it. And now you're in an era where you can do anything you want to do online. People can find out who you are clear across the world. You ain't got to be on ABC, NBC, CBS, and none of that. Because why? Because the new ABC is Instagram, the new ABC is YouTube, the new ABC. I mean, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook will make you rich. That's why I'm rich. I'm rich because people know me all over the world, and all I do is just get on my phone and teach people things they never heard of. I already here and got way more money than I can spend. Run around giving money away, and used to be broken homeless from the joint. So I don't want to hear it. 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 Evict that. Evict that lazy spirit. All right. When somebody teach you what to do and tell you go watch this video, pay that little money and go get paid, do what you're told. I do what I'm told. I do it. I evicted out of my life a long time ago hard headedness. I'm like, man, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be broken hard headed. No, ain't no way in the world I'm gonna be sitting up questioning people that's got money telling me what to do. I'm like, I'm gonna get my broke behind up and go to work. Are you hearing me? Why? Because winter is coming. I don't want to get thrown out of wherever it is that I'm living. I've been homeless before. I know what it's like to be wondering where I'm going to be living at. I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like to be at a hotel wondering where you're going to be living at, hoping you can hurry up and get your hands on a couple of little wood nickels before they lock your black behind back up. I know what it feels like. You hear what I'm talking about? So when I'm talking, I ain't from those suburbs and all that stuff. I'm from the hood, baby. All right? God had to bless. God didn't have to do nothing, but God blessed me because I'm an obedient man. Are you hearing me? Oh, so I would evict disobedience and I would pick up obedience. And that way you'll never get evicted from where you live. And I'm telling you to be obedient today. Stop doing that hourly work stuff. That stuff is country as hell. Them days is gone forever. Hey, listen to me. You're gonna be replaced by a robot. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So if you're interested in my class, just put virality or virality in the chat and take the class. $297. I'm teaching you what I paid $30,000 for. And you can take 3 hours. You should do you on your Christmas break, man, please. I would hem myself up. I'd be like, I'm gonna take Brother Ricky's class. All right. It's a virality class. All right. So just put virality in the chat and if you want it, okay. And it automatically comes to you. You get the link, it automatically comes to you. My friend Chan, the millionaire barber, he already a millionaire. All right. And Chan, he's like, he took my class. So I said, Chan, how you doing now? He said, look at my newest video. Chan ain't never had a video had like more than 100 views or nothing, 100 shares or 200 shares or something like that. He got a video right now, quickly approaching probably past 1 million views already. Are you listening to me? He took a 3-hour class and got 1 million people paying attention to him that didn't even know he existed. Are you hearing me? And 99.9% of them wasn't even following him. They didn't even know who he was. Are you hearing me? How many people know who you are? Like, you about to get evicted out your crib, and all you got to do is get on your phone and sell something. It's the easiest time in the world to make money. I ain't never seen people be so lazy in my life. I'm like, all you got to do is get on your phone and sell something. Just tell people about what you're doing. Man, people, if it's worth it, people gonna buy it. Why? Because you ain't got to force nobody to buy nothing. All you got to do is be good at explaining how they can come to you. I'm real good at explaining how you can come to me. I don't solicit nobody for nothing. Are you hearing me? I don't solicit nobody for nothing. And man, please, $100,000 in an hour is some chump change. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Why? Because the whole world is watching you. Are you listening to me? Y'all ain't paying attention. You're not living in the era that you're in. When he gonna talk about evictions, I'm talking about evictions from the time I turn the phone on. I'm telling you how to not get evicted from where you live at. But the problem is that you got to do some evicting if you want to avoid being evicted. 3.6 million people filed for evictions this year. That's crazy. 1.5 million people got thrown out their crib. Are you hearing me? Number one problem is what? Rising rent. The rent is gonna rise. The rent is rising, baby. Are you hearing me? The rent ain't gonna stop going up. The rent is gonna continue to rise. Why? Because this little paper money ain't worth nothing. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? You need plenty of this little paper money to be able to stay in the game we're in right now. And you want to convert that money to gold, and you want to convert that money to silver, and you want to convert that money to cryptocurrency, and you definitely want to operate out of a trust. Why? So you get all your money back that you put in the bank every year. That's why y'all getting evicted. Are you hearing me? How you gonna get evicted if you make $100,000 a year? It's because people getting evicted that make $100,000. You hear me? People getting thrown out their cribs they got equity in. I ain't even talking about the foreclosure rate. Let me give you that. The foreclosure rate, 20,000 foreclosures filed in October alone. And what just started in October alone, Texas, Florida, and New York got the most of them, most of the foreclosures that's been filed. Texas, New York, and Florida. They got most of the foreclosures that's been filed. 20,000 of them just started. Do you know it's people losing their houses that's got equity in their house? You say, how's that, Rick? How you get thrown out of a house you got equity in? Because your credit jacked up, tore from the floor up. Can't put cheese on a Whopper. That's why. And your income low. Low income in a global economy. That all you got to do is just make some money from your house. Can sell anything from your house. Getting up, still driving to a country job. Underpaid, overworked, driving to a little hillbilly job. You sound like you're mad, Brother Ricky. It's because I am. When I read this, it made me angry. I'm not smiling today. I ain't playing. I'm like, what the hell is going on around here with my brothers and my sisters? How the hell you getting thrown out your crib in the richest time ever in the history of time? Like, it ain't no recession going on, man. We got plenty of money. Right here, everywhere I go, and these resorts and everything, all I see is rich million after million after million after. I don't see no black folks on me. All right. You see 2 or 3 of us someplace everywhere you go. But I see million after million after million after million after million after millionaire after millionaire all over the country, anywhere I go. All I see is a whole bunch of rich folk. Why? Because they ain't tricking their time off. That's why. It's the richest time in the history of time because you can sell anything to anybody, anywhere. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? So my class ain't nothing but $297. Are you listening to me? $297 little measly dollars. If I was you, I'd spend the rest of the day in my Christmas break, and I'd be like, man, all that stuff I was getting ready to do, I ain't watching no football games. I ain't watching no basketball games. I'm too broke for that. I ain't got time for that. What I would do if I was you is I would get that class. And Ricky, I could have charged what? $50,000 for it because I'm teaching it. I'm colder than the cats that was teaching the class than me. Why? Because I was already an actor and a singer and an entertainer and all that stuff before I even took the class. If you take the class, I'm gonna teach you how to get people's attention, hold people's attention, and they come to you to pay you for whatever it is that you buy, and you don't go to them. I'm gonna show you how to make money from your crib, right from the door. You don't leave nowhere. You hear what I'm talking? I don't go nowhere to make no money. Are you listening to me? No, I ain't got no office. I ain't got no office rent. Are you listening to me? I ain't had an office since I started going live 5, 6 years ago. I ain't hear what I'm talking about. Why? Because you make millions of dollars on the internet. You ain't got no business getting evicted from no place. Somebody throwing you out your joint. Don't make no sense. Are you hear what I'm talking about? Virality. The class is virality. Okay. All right. So let's go. So the second thing they said is insufficient affordable housing. This is the second reason why people are getting evicted, thrown out their cribs. Inefficient affordable housing. All right. So the next thing I would do is I would evict petty. I would petty search bars. All right. I would evict that. Why? Because you ain't finna find it. You say, what you mean by evict petty search bars? First of all, put it in the chat. EPD. All right, put that in the chat because you got to go back over this video and watch it again so it makes sense to you. It's gonna be saved. Just watch it again. I would evict petty search bars. All right. Yeah. EP. What is it? Evict petty. S. Yeah. Search bars. All right. EPS. That's right. So evict that. You say, what do you mean by that? EPSB if you want to. All right. So you say, what do you mean? The houses are not going. You're not going to find no affordable house. Stop looking for it. All right. Make it where you can afford any house. All right. See, that's a mind shift set. The mindset shift. But when I got out the joint, I had $50. I wasn't looking around to see what was the cheapest way I could live. I was looking around to see what was the most I could give. I was like, I ain't got no money. So what can I do? So God was like, okay, why don't you go to the hospital and pray for people because you like to pray for folks. And that's what I told you to do anyway. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. I can do 100% of that. Okay. He said, why are you in there? Why don't you sing them a song? I said, I can do that. All right. It ain't nothing like going to a hospital while somebody right arm off their body, left eyeball just rolled down the street, and you pull up and they don't even know you, and you pull up and you say, for you, I am praying. For you, I am praying. Is it okay if I pray for you? Who would have ever turned you down from a prayer half dead? Nobody. I don't care if they're atheists or whatever the case may be. Everybody went in pain and hurt and all that sort of. Everybody attitude changed. Everybody. How I know because I've been in the hospital so many times looking at folks with one foot in the grave. That's how I know. He said, Brother Ricky, ain't you a preacher? I ain't like no state appointed state reverend and none of that kind of stuff. I'm just a brother. You hear what I'm talking about? That job is for everybody. See, that's another problem. You need to evict that attitude. All right. Why? Because I can never get evicted because I'm too generous. You hear what I'm talking about? I mean, I was so generous that even when I was dead broke, people just took me into their crib. I don't even know. Just let me live in their house. Total strangers and stuff. People don't do that. That's because what you reap, what you sow. You hear what I'm talking about? Are you listening to me? And I'm telling you right now, evict the idea of running around here trying to find some cheap place to live, some little gingerbread house. I'm looking for some affordable housing. No, what you need to do is make so much money you can afford any house. Are you hearing me? Make so much money you can afford any house. All right. So everybody put raise your rent. Okay. Come on, put it in the chat. Raise your rent. RYR. Raise your rent because I raised the rent in my head. That's why I can pay any rent I want to pay around the world. I can pay it. Why? Because I raised the rent in my head. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting rid of petty thinking. I hear why? Because that stuff too expensive. I'm not gonna walk around trying to figure out what's the cheapest stuff I can get my hands on. Why? Because it's gonna erode my brain and I ain't gonna make no money. Why? Because I ain't trying to make money. I'm trying to figure out how to pay the cheapest price for something. That's why people broke. That's why they end up getting evicted. Excuse me. That's how people end up getting thrown out of places. Why? Because their mind is on the bare minimum. Everybody, look, how in the world are you going to ever get rich and your mind is on minimum wages? You hear what I'm talking about? All you're thinking about is what's the least amount I can possibly pay for something. Oh, no, no, no. I don't even like cheap stuff. You hear me? So I ain't never running around trying to figure out what's the least amount I can possibly pay. Why? Because then I'm going to practice my whole day trying to figure out what's the least amount of money I can possibly make. Are you listening to me? That stuff is correlated. When you're thinking about paying the cheapest price, you're thinking about earning the lowest amount of money simultaneously, but you don't know it. Why? Because it's a trick of the devil, and you don't recognize the devil. But the Bible say we ain't ignorant of Satan's devices. Are you hearing me? I recognize the devil. I know he petty. I know what his attitude is like. I know he like to get me to focus on what, on how I can get away with stuff, and how I can be. Hey man, if you don't like what I'm talking about, get off the. Shit, don't never put nothing uh, goofy on my chat. Who is this? Who is my? Get to the point. I'm gonna get to the point. There you go. I just got to the point. You'll never be able to say nothing stupid on here again. I'm a Holy Ghost gangster. Don't come on my channel saying nothing stupid. You get straight kicked to the curb. Are you hearing me? We rich and we real smart. Okay? Not smart Alex. Real smart people. And when we nice enough to come on here and talk to you for no money, don't want no money from you, just to teach you some points, teach you some stuff. Don't you get your ignorant behind on here and say nothing slick. You hear what you get evicted with a quickness. You hear what you see how quick he got evicted? Somebody else say something slick. And I know I'd catch you in that chat. Say something, bring a demon up in here. Get pimp slap back to Africa. Are you hear what I'm talking about? We ain't playing over here. We come on here to talk to y'all just to help your life. Are you hear what I'm talking about? You ain't got number one life. I'm real concerned about your life. I might be funny, but I ain't no joke. Don't roll up over here. Don't let these Jesus songs get you twisted. All right? Come on here with some respect. If you ain't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing dumb. Well, keep your foot when you come to the house of God, and be more willing to listen than to give a sacrifice of a fool. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Because we men of God up in here. We ain't no joke. We powerful folk. Are you hearing me? You don't want no smoke over here. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We love you. We concerned about your life. This ain't no game. Ain't no pimp stuff over here. Are you hearing me? This ain't none of that foolishness that you used to seeing when you get online. All these knuckleheads running around here calling themselves pimps and all that stuff. We ain't playing with God like that. And we don't play with people either. So I'm teaching you today, if you listen to me, you'll never get evicted. Right? You hear what I'm talking about? You be so far ahead of the game until you have plenty of money and you listen to somebody who what? Been homeless. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? I'm concerned about your life. The question is, are you concerned about your life? And I believe you are. All right. So let's get back in the saddle now that we evicted that whoever he was. I was clicking on here. All right, let's go. So um, so the second thing is insufficient affordable housing. Don't be looking for no affordable housing. Be looking for the money so you can afford any house. Are you hearing me? Change what? Your gauge. Change what it is you're focusing on. Number three, the expiration of pandemic era protections. This is the third reason why everybody getting thrown out these places now. Why? Because for the last, people was hiding behind COVID. Now here's COVID. People with so-called COVID. I don't know. I got so many ideas about the government and they conspiracies. But here people are, and you basically got set up to get rich. Why? Because for 3 years, you didn't have to go back and forth to work. For 3 years, you didn't have to go back and forth to work. And you could work from your crib. And you didn't even have to pay. And if you was and they had all these waiving rent and all this kind of stuff for folks. So here you got trifling Negroids who for 3 years didn't have to pay no bills and got away with, I didn't have to pay no rent, got away with not paying no rent for 3 years at the crib, eating Doritos and watching basketball games and football games and the Housewives of Atlanta and the Bachelor and the Bachelorette and whatever other nonsense people have been doing, spending their time on with all that free time to get rich. Are you hearing me? So what happened? The chickens came in a roost. That's what happened. So they finally said, okay, now you done went 3 years, you ain't paid, and now you got to pay. And tricked off, and they didn't even save the little money that they wasn't paying on rent. So what I'm telling y'all is get rid of this entitled attitude, thinking that somebody owe you. Nobody owe you nothing. Life don't owe you nothing. You can wait. Just be glad you woke up this morning and count it all joy, okay? And get up off that thing and dance, and you'll feel better. This is the third reason why so many come to evictions in 2024, because they piled up from 2020 through 2024, and they like, you Marks is gonna pay some rent. Y'all get the hell up out of here. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? so, God bless you too. So they say y'all gonna pay some rent today. And y'all getting up out of here. I hear me. So that's why you're seeing so many people get kicked out their joints now. What? They was trifling for 3 years. Are you hearing me? So I'm telling you right now, this is the way to avoid this stuff. But 2025 when it come up. All right. There's two things I would do if I was you. I would start selling me something online, and I would take me some classes to get my brain right. That's what I would do. I would just do two major things to get ahead of the game for 2025. I'd be like, you know what? I would admit it. If you got a money problem, you got a brain problem. All right. If you need some money surgery, you need some brain surgery. All right. Because either you doing it or you ain't doing it. Either you about it or you wasting time. Either you making good moves or you making bad moves. Why? Because the price of everything is going up. It ain't waiting on me. It ain't waiting on you. I'm talking about stuff is going at the speed of light. Are you hearing me? You're gonna be looking up this year. You're gonna see these robots around. It's gonna blow your mind. I'm investing in the robot companies. Man, everything Elon Musk, everything he got, I'm investing in. Tesla, I find out anything else he doing, there's some other little companies come up, some little offspring companies that he got. So read up on Elon Musk this year, any little offspring companies, anything he got, anything that he started, you know, buy this stock right now and hurry up. Okay. Hurry up before that stuff take off. You might make enough money in 1 year to pay your rent for 5 years. Did you hear what I said? Awesome little chump change too. You ain't necessarily got to have a whole bunch of money. All right. So I would follow Elon Musk and find out what he done do. That dude, what he does, it changed the whole kaleidoscope of how business is done around the world. And it don't matter whether you down or not. It ain't gonna change nothing. I hear what I'm talking about. So you might as well get paid. You might as well get some of that money, unless it's some ungodly stuff. You dig? When somebody doing something that's going, that God ain't gonna be down with. But don't be hating on the man because the man think, and get ahead of the game. That's one thing I would do. So I would put some money into some stuff that got a chance of taking off, which means that don't go to the movies, spend the money on that. All right. Don't go to the ball game, spend the money. You say you was at a ball game yesterday, brother Ricky. You had a $1,200 ticket. Yeah, but that's $12 to me. All right. Don't compare yourself to somebody who's a millionaire. Compare yourself to whoever you at. I mean, it's relative based on what you're currently doing. I wasn't going to no ball game when I was homeless. Are you hearing me? I was just glad to be able to do what I wasn't even watching no basketball. Why? Because I'm like, I ain't got no time to be watching nothing. I ain't got no, almost made me curse. Praise the Lord. Darn money. I ain't got no darn money. Everybody put hallelujah in the chat. Brother Ricky kept it clean. Everybody put hallelujah in the chat. I didn't have no darn money. Praise the Lord. Almost slipped. Almost slipped. Almost slipped. Because I get mad when I'm looking at y'all. I'm like, you went to a game, I'm going to a game. Don't you be comparing yourself to other people. Are you hearing me? Don't compare yourself to other people. Compare yourself to your situation. What's going on with you? It ain't always been like this. Are you hearing me? It ain't always been like this, baby. The first job I got, I had a $500 check they gave me, and they took $525 check, and they took it and gave them the child support $500, gave me $25. You know that's enough to make you go catch a case. Are you hearing me? Take your whole check, your little $500 check, and give it away, and just gangster your money like that. You got 25. The hell you gonna live off of $25? Are you listening to me? Are you hearing what I'm talking about? And if that was enough to push you over the edge, but it didn't push me over the edge. Why? Because I had vision, and because I was a humble dude. And I'm like, hey Lord, you see that? He's like, yeah, I saw that, Rick. He said, I'm just saying how you gonna react. And then he put people in my life who was nice to me. I always had some place to stay, somewhere to live and stuff. People was just kind to me, total strangers. Just let me live where they was living. I didn't even know these people. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? Why? Because your attitude is everything. So that's why I don't play. I don't play with folks. You come around me with a bad attitude, you gonna get chin checked. I'm like, I don't want to hear that stuff. All I complain. Yada, 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 yada. What you gonna do about it? All right. What you gonna do about it, player? What you gonna do? All right. Bust a move up in here. Nobody want to hear all that. Okay. What kind of solution you got? All right. That's when you'll never get evicted if you're a solution-minded person. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? And why? And so everybody this is why you're seeing this big dump in 2024 of all these people getting kicked out their joints because they got it coming. Oh man, it's the government. Oh man, it's a bunch of lazy people. All right. Why? Because you're not working together. You would have never got evicted if it was two people in that joint, which y'all back to back, stomped down with each other like four flat tires. got the nerve to be arguing. Broke people got the nerve to be arguing. Got the nerve to be at odds with one another. Can't get along with one another. Can't stay in the same joint for more than a few minutes and all that sort of thing. And broke as hell. It don't make no sense. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing what I'm talking about? It's the devil from hell is what it is. And got everybody at odds with each other. Couples can't get together. We ain't got no couples no more. We got a whole bunch of individual nonsense going on. Hard-headed witchcraft taking place. Are you listening to me? It's a curse with a curse. I'm talking about in the hood in the black community. 99% of y'all listen to me, black folk. So I'm talking about in our community, it's jacked up. It ain't good. Are you hearing me? It's time for us to repent. It's time for us to be able to learn how to get along with each other. Are you hearing me say, you know what? If we can't get along as lovers, let's at least get along as business partners, as business friends. All right, let's at least let cooler heads prevail, because we got to do this stuff together. You know, this independent attitude, it ain't gonna work. You know, somebody gonna end up getting thrown out. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Let's not only not get thrown out, let's thrive. What time is it, y'all? It ain't time to be surviving. It's time to thrive. Are you hearing what I'm talking about? If you thrive and put IT in the chat, I'm thriving. Okay. If you thrive and put IT in the chat. All right, let's go. Let's go. So I don't know what to do with the investing. Can you give me, Dorothy, come to the Financial IQ Challenge. That's where you can learn everything. Come to the Financial IQ Challenge. Just put challenge in the chat, Dorothy, if you want to come and start the year off with us. I teach you a whole bunch of things about investing in challenge, because you can ask me any question you want. Okay. So for all you all who haven't been to our challenge, our next one is coming up at the beginning of the year. Be a great way to start your year. You kick it with us for a week. I'll put some serious fat on your head. Okay. By the time the week is over with, what they say back in the day, ta-da! All right. Because I don't know a lot about a whole lot, but I know a lot about money. All right. So if you want to learn how to make some money, you come to the challenge. You can ask me any question you want if you're in the platinum section. Okay. So for the first month of the year, I'm not going to raise the price for the platinum section. It's going up in February, but for January, you can still get the same price. So cool. So I'm not going to change nothing for January, but for February, I'm going up. Why? I'm just like everybody else. All right. The rent going up, everything going up. People talking about get a discount, Ricky. I'm like, yeah, this what I'm telling you. You ain't going to count this money. All right. Why? Because everything going up. My prices too. So jump on them before they go up. All right. So because I don't focus on the price of stuff. I focus on the value of stuff. That's why I can pay for anything, because I don't focus on that. That's why I'm not running around on thin margins and stuff like that. You see, it's thin ice when everything that you do, you barely got enough. That's why people get evicted, because they sitting around wasting time. That's why when somebody asks me for some money, I say, show me your schedule from last week. They're like, excuse me? I'm like, show me your schedule from last week. They're like, show you I just want to borrow some money. I'm like, no, you just want to pimp me. Why? Because if I ask you to show me your schedule from last week and you hesitate, that means you was tricking your time off. And then you got the audacity to trick your time off, and then come over to me, who ain't been tricking his time off, until you give you my hard-earned money that I was diligent. You know, because seest thou a man who is diligent in his business, he should stand before kings and not before mean men. That's what you tell all these busters when they roll up on you for the holiday. Hey, you know what? I was wondering if I could borrow $100 to give my mama a gift. I don't guess your mama gonna get no gift. All right. You're gonna borrow $100 to go broke her on a pagan holiday. You hearing me? Christmas ain't got jack to do with Jesus Christ. All right. It's a pagan holiday created called the winter solstice, which was competing with the summer solstice because people was making too much money in the summertime. So they said, let's do something in the wintertime to counteract that. And they created Christmas. It's all about money. All right. It's a commercialized holiday. It's game. That's what it is. You hear what I'm talking about? So, you know, it's nice, the little Jingle Bell songs. And, you know, I went to a Scrooge play last night to see my grandson and all that sort of thing. But ain't nobody tripping about that stuff. I wish my grandkids would tell me, hey, granddad, I just feel left out. I'm like, look, player, get that book that I just read that I just got through telling you about. We're going to sit down here and go over these economics again. We're going to go over our history again. We're going to go over this Bible again. And it's Christmas every day, partner. All right. You ain't finna hem nobody up on no certain day and put all this pressure on somebody, make them feel like we got to pay. If I don't get you something, you're going to be mad at me. Let me show you. I got something for that mad. That's what I got for that. You mad because you ain't get no present? All right. I bet you'll be glad in a few minutes. Right. I told my mother one day, I said, I don't know what hell, I don't know what hit me. I must have been smoking some kitty barbiturates or something. I don't know what. I got an attitude with my mother one day. I said, you make me sick. I said it under my voice. I didn't think she could hear me, right? I was a little dude. I don't know what she said, all right? She said, you make me sick. No, I told her, you make me sick. And she said, what you say, boy? So, and mom used to beat me with an extension cord. Wasn't no belt. You didn't get no belt whooping. You got an extension cord. All right. And I beat the hell out of you with a extension cord. And then told me to shut up while I was screaming. Now that part I couldn't understand. I can understand a whooping. Why? Because I was talking crazy. I had it coming. But I couldn't understand why she beat the hell out of me and tell me to shut up at the same time. Whack! Shut up, boy. I'm like, shut up. It's got to come out of somewhere. Yeah, I whooped my kids when they was little. You better believe it. And I never told them to shut up though. Now after the whooping, I told them to shut up. You know how kids be acting. After the whooping, they feel like they shouldn't, like you shouldn't be, like they ain't got no whooping coming. I'm like, no, hell no. Okay, you're whooping over with, player. All right. That what you're doing right there, you that all that drama right there, the Academy Award. You must be ready for round two. If y'all ain't having it for Christmas, put round two in the chat. All right, come on. Some of y'all got some sense around here. If y'all believe when them brats start acting like that, they need another whooping, put round two in the chat. Let's go. We got anybody around here? It'd be a cold day in here for the government, this faggot homosexual government that done told y'all how to raise y'all kids, got y'all kids crazy as hell. It'd be a cold day in here before they tell me what to do. If I'm gonna come around you, and you're gonna be my child, my grandchild. I'm gonna have something to do with you. You're gonna get tightened up if you don't do what you said. Are you hear me? Because it's witchcraft for somebody to tell you what to do. And they got these crazy kids out here blowing up bombs and eating lot, blowing up cribs and shooting people in the mall and all that kind of crazy stuff. I'm telling you why people getting evicted, because they're crazy as hell. All right, we're going by some crazy rules set up by a homosexual society, and they nuts. Are you hearing me? Nutty as a box of rocks, eh? And bold as hell too. Bold as hell. Tell you what to. They done got so. That's why one of the reasons I'm glad Trump won. I didn't vote for nobody because I'm down with the common law. But one thing I'm glad Trump said when he just got in, he said, man, he said, we're gonna check these schools. He said, if you tell, he told the school, and he got it. I don't know what I was looking at it at. I was just browsing through here or something. He told the school system, he said, y'all tell these kids they ain't got no agenda again. He said, we're gonna take your funding and it's gonna be dire consequences. I'm like, my man, somebody finally got some balls around here. Finally got some balls. he said, he said, if your school tell these kids they ain't a boy, they come up in here trying to put other, that they ain't a boy or a girl, he said, you can get dealt with. He said, we going back to the family, being a family of a man and a woman. He said, stuff is nonsense. You hear what I'm talking about? And I like the fact he got some balls. He finally said something. He did. That's right. Listen, when y'all come on here and y'all talking, say what you believe in. Tell everybody to take a flying hike if they don't like it. You dig what I'm saying? And don't you act like you believe what you don't believe. Are you hearing me? If you whatever you believe in, say it. All right. When I'm talking to you, just tell me how you believe. You dig? And if I believe what you believe, I'll tell you cool. If I don't, I'm gonna tell you no. And if I think what you're talking about is some nonsense, I'm gonna tell you I think you're crazy as hell. I think you on some foolishness. All right, that's what I'm gonna tell you. I don't hate you. I ain't gonna come looking for you with no pistol. You dig what I'm saying? But you ain't about to punk me and tell me I got to believe what you talking about. I believe you nuts. But you think I'm nuts? All right, that's you got a right to believe whatever you want to believe. You dig what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna intimidate me. That ain't about to happen. And if I was y'all, I wouldn't be running around here for Christmas trying to buy no whole bunch of presents. And ain't got no money and running up bills and all that sort of thing. I'd be putting that money in crypto. I'd be putting that money in gold. I'd be putting that money in stocks. I'd be putting that money in anything that's got a possibility going up. I'd buy me a trust to make sure that I'm getting all my money back from the bank. I would be way more responsible with my money than be running around here. And anybody know anything about me know I love Jesus Christ. And if Jesus came down from heaven right now, he'd be like, this holiday ain't got nothing to do with me. He'd be like, this ain't got jack to do with me. I ain't no baby in no manger no more. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't jingling no bells. You hear what I'm talking about? Yeah, I'm sorry if I put a little monkey wrench in the program. I ain't mad at you. Go ahead and sing around your Christmas tree or whatever. Do what you're gonna do. That's your personal business. I ain't mad at you. I ain't gonna throw no darts at you. I'm just talking about the reality of what's going on with us around here. People getting thrown out their crib. Why you worshiping and celebrating pagan holidays? That's what I'm talking about. And you ain't even got enough money to stay in your joint. The price of a house ain't going down. The price of an apartment ain't going down. So that means your money got to go up. You hear what I'm talking about? So the last thing I want to talk about is these cryptos that I got. Okay, so these are cryptos I'm buying for 2025. Solano. So somebody put in the chat so everybody can see it. Solano, SOL. Come on, hurry up. So if you see them dudes sending y'all messages talking about they Rick the Wealth Coach, they liars from the pit of hell, it's not me. I'm telling you right here while I'm live. They can't fake me and me. They'll take my live video and they'll put it on a fake station and they'll run it and you'll see it and you'll think that that's me. They are some perpetrating frauds. It's not me. All right. I'm telling y'all, it's not me. I'm not going to tell you to send me some money. Never. Never. I'm not going to do that. If you want to learn anything from us, you have to talk to somebody from my office. All right. And they ain't got no accents. Everybody from my office is from the hood. All right. You can understand them clearly, all right? Anytime somebody calls, you're talking about, hello? Yes, this is Rick, the wealth coach. Yes, congratulations. That's a perpetrating fraud. They're trying to get your money. Don't G for it, all right? That is not Brother Ricky. Brother Ricky's from 38th Street in Chicago. I don't speak with no accent. You dig what I'm saying? Nobody around me got no accent. I don't hire no guys that can't talk and all this sort of thing. Why? I pay people more money to make sure you can understand what they're talking about when they talk to you. Why? Because I ain't trying to save no money. I want to make sure everybody get paid what I pay them what I'm worth so they can give me what I deserve. You ain't gonna come around me and be confused about who's talking to you. All right. So Solano, yeah, you say what? Say Stefan. You say India. You say I can say it, huh? Yeah, as long as you speak clear English, we could work together. That's a possibility, but ain't nobody gonna be struggling to hear what nobody. I'm like, if you're gonna be talking to people that's Americans, talking to people that speak English, you ought to be able to speak English. It ought to be very clear. Should nobody be having to try to figure out what you're talking about? That if I was trying to sell something in another country, I would learn the language and I would speak it fluently if I was going to do that. Because I owe it to the person. I don't like giving people headaches and a hard time and messing your head up while you're trying to learn things. I like things to be very simple. Third grade. I'm a simple dude. I like no bunch of, I like gang, and a whole bunch of manipulation. I ain't down with it. All right. Just come correct and don't come at all. All right. So I would get Solano, immutable. I'm buying immutable. You say, Ricky, why you buying these? I ain't finna explain all that. I'm just telling you what I'm buying. You look it up yourself. All right. Do some work. Okay. I don't make no money if you buy it. All right. I'm just telling you what I'm buying. You say, why you doing all that? Why you so nice? Because I'm nice. All right. I chin check folk and evict them when they talking crazy. Are you dig what I'm saying? Because I don't play with people. All right. So I don't suffer fools. But I'm a very nice man, very kind person. I want to see you get rich. All right. So I don't need no money for you to get rich. I'm already rich. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So in case you maybe to help you. All right. That's all. All right. So I'm just telling you the ones I'm buying. So immutable is is another one. Immutable. And I think it's immutable. That's the name of it. So you look up the code yourself. All right. So let me see what else I got. Immutable. Ethereum. Ethereum. Back when I first started buying cryptocurrencies, Ethereum was only $35. Are you hearing me? This is in 2017, well, 8 years ago now. $35 is 30 some, it's 3,800 or something now. I forget what it is, 3,000 something dollars now. Ethereum, you say, that's too much, Ricky. You ain't got to buy a whole one. You can buy parts of it. Okay. You can put $100 towards Ethereum and get whatever the fraction of it is. But Ethereum is like the gasoline that goes into the tank of all the cryptocurrencies. It's almost like for them all to function, they got to come through Ethereum. That's why it's placed right up under Bitcoin in terms of the highest price for a coin, Ethereum. But it used to only be $35. So let's not be here talking at the beginning of 2025, and then we get here again at the end of 2025, and you got the same money problems you had at the beginning because you just wasn't making no moves. Make some moves, all right? Some of them, I think they all gonna go up. And the reason I believe so is because when Bitcoin has a halving, which took place in May, Bitcoin has a surge, which took place in November, December. The alternative coins take place typically 2 to 3 months after that. They start boom. All right. So that's what I believe is going to happen. I believe the first quarter this year is going to be off the hook. That's what I believe. All right. I ain't Jesus Christ. I don't know, but that's what I believe. All right. And the second thing is that Trump is in office, and Trump is a major, major Bitcoin proponent. I hear me? Major. So he'll start doing things that make them coins go. All right. It don't matter whether you like them or not. I'm just talking about economics. Okay. So economically speaking, that money, the chances of it going up are big because Trump, he don't like the United States government in your business the way that he believe more like common law. He leans more in the area of what we teach in terms of the economics that we teach about common law. He leans more in that direction. So he likes decentralized things. He likes things where the United States government is not controlling it. That's why he ain't paid no taxes on all his billions for years. Why? Because he know all the tax rules. He know how to get tax credits back. Trump bought a building. He paid 120 million for the building. They gave him 885 million in tax credits to buy the building. They gave him 4 times what the building, 5 times what the building cost to buy the building, one of his casinos. All right. So he gets tax credits. And that's what we do too with the way that we operate. We get tax credits. We get the biggest tax returns you can possibly get. Why? Because we operate out of private trust. And Trump, all this stuff private. I hear what I'm talking about. That's how you get down. That's why he ain't never went to jail. All that stuff they talking about, he had 39 fellas. That man wasn't about to go to jail. You hear what I'm talking about? That dude run the world. I hear what I'm saying? So so I don't know how I got off on that tangent, but that's the last thing I would do. I'm buying Mutable. I'm buying that. I'm buying Ethereum, naturally Bitcoin. And but those smaller coins, they don't hardly cost nothing. XRP, I'm still buying it. They don't hardly cost nothing. You know, 25 cents, 35 cents, $2, 50 cents. You ain't got to be rich. All right. You ain't got to be rich. But I would show enough. I would cut back on whatever you're doing. I would start eating some bag lunches. I would stop going out, and I would put that money into some of these little coins and be like, man, I'm gonna take my best shot and just see what happens this year. That's for all of y'all that's living on a shoestring budget. Are you hearing me? How you gonna be living on a shoestring budget, but you got 2 stomachs? I put something to stop eating so much. All right. I'm down to 1.5. 1.5. 1.5. All right. 1.5 for you. All right. It ain't down. I ain't down to 1 yet. But see, I can only hold that for about 10 seconds. But I'm down to 1.5. Eat just enough to get by. Okay. And put the rest of that money in the year. All right. Anybody got a question before I go? 2 minutes for a question. You say you didn't vote, Serena, but Trump got some good ideas. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Anybody got a question? Anybody got a question before we go? Y'all got a question? Anybody got a question? XRP, yep. XRP, Josh. I'm buying XRP. Anybody got a question before we go? No questions? All right. Well, you all enjoy your day. Next time I'll be live is Tuesday morning, and I'll be teaching you all. Tuesday morning, I'll be teaching why wealthy people file 1041s versus 1040s. That's what I'll be teaching. Okay. You interested in a trust guide? Just come to the Financial IQ Challenge. Just put challenge in the chat. Challenge, and the link will be sent to you. That's where you learn everything. Okay. The code for immutable, I think it's IMX, but just put immutable and it'll come up. Just put immutable on the thing. You say, can you buy XRP? If you're in New York, of course you can. You can buy XRP in any city, anywhere in the United States. You can buy any XRP anywhere in the world. All right. It ain't what's your question, Vera? Me, I don't understand your question. All right, they're about to cut y'all off on Instagram. So if y'all want to ask a question, ask it over here right quick. I'm just gonna answer questions for about another minute or 2. All right, anybody got a question over here? All right, nobody got a question over here? Nobody got a question on Facebook? Y'all good? Nobody got a question about nothing? Everybody good? All right. Okay. So once again, if you want to come to our challenge, just put challenge in the chat. You can learn everything you want to learn for a whole week. You can ask me questions for a whole week, and I'll be glad to entertain your questions. All right. Everybody good? No questions. No questions now? All right. Okay. All right. You said you went to buy it and it wasn't available. They're going to cut you off. Come over here on Instagram. Come over here right quick. You said they went to, yeah, it's a recording of this. Yeah, there. So everything is always posted right away. Hold on a second. All right. If you got a question, I'll answer real quick. All right. All right, I'm going to go have Bible class with my daughter. All right, I love you all. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful day. It's been a fun, pleasing pleasure as well as a privilege. And remember that stellar is a stellar does. Have an outstanding Sunday. Love you. Have a great day. You're welcome. You're welcome. God bless you back. You're welcome.